What's up, everybody? And today we are checking out the brutal red cell unit of SEAL Team 6. This is by Tactical. I will leave a link down below to the original video, like I always do. Please go over there, support the original video. Yeah, someone sent this to me. They said you should check out the red cell unit, or they said the red team unit. Red cell / red team unit of SEAL Team 6. I don't know whether it's like an extra specialist branch of SEAL Team 6, but I guess we're going to find out in this video and we'll learn together. Is there anything I need to say before we start the video today? Check out links down below if you want to see all the gear and equipment that I use. And I think that's it. I don't think I've got anything to announce today, you know. I don't think I've got anything to announce. Weather's getting nice here in the UK. I think I might do a live stream on Friday. Let me know if you think I should do that. We'll play some more of that game we played on the celebratory live stream, the 500,000 subscriber live stream. But yeah, let's check this out. I don't think I've watched anything by Tactical before, so we'll learn something new. I don't know whether it's got dialogue. My presumption is it has. So I'll turn subbies on and we'll go from there.
In 1980, in the aftermath of the failed Operation Eagle Claw, Richard Marcinko created the now world-famous unit called SEAL Team 6. When he was creating the newest SEAL team, the United States and Soviet Union were locked in the Cold War, and spies were everywhere. The Navy...
That's interesting. I actually don't know much about SEAL Team 6 and how it was specifically founded. That'd be, if anyone's got a video on that, that'd be a really interesting video.
He wanted to pinpoint their areas of greatest vulnerability, aiming to identify strategic points where they were most exposed. Even in spots they thought were locked up tight, they were really keen to find out if there were any sneaky ways in. So Admiral James Lyons asked Marcinko to put together a whole new team. 4 years later, Red Cell came into existence when Richard Marcinko handed over control of SEAL Team 6 to Commander Robert Gormley.
So he did SEAL Team 6, and then he formed another specialist unit called Red Cell. Interesting. And so I'm wondering if they're both on the level playing field, or if Red Cell's better than SEAL Team, or I guess it doesn't really matter. Maybe they just have different expertise.
Marcinko established the Naval Security Coordination Team, OP-06D, commonly known as Red Cell or Red Team, consisting of a 14-man unit. 13 were from SEAL Team 6, and 1 Force Recon Marine.
Wow.
The Red Cell members...
That must... who is the 1 Force Recon Marine? Must have been a badass. But that means they're obviously highly trained soldiers.
Exposed the weak spots in military bases, pulling off stunts like using fake IDs, taking down fences, locking down buildings, grabbing hostages, and snatching up high-ranking officers.
Interesting.
The name Red Cell was a term for the opposing force, OP-4, in a war game by Western nations during the Cold War. A reference to the sea of red flags commonly associated with communist nations.
Interesting.
To maximize the educational value for the base.
I'd love to know what the training's like for this type of special team. Because obviously, if you've gone through SEALs training, you're obviously already one of the best in the country, if not the world. And if you are part of SEAL Team 6, which is like the next step up, or at least a more popular team to get in within the SEAL community, and so there's going to be a lot of competition for that spot. If the majority of the people in it are, you know, SEAL Team 6, then it's got to be some of the best of the best. I'd love to know what they had to do to get into Red Team, into Red Cell. Like, I wonder what extra thing they had to do. God, I'd love to be able to see that stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Commander and verify Red Cell's penetration claims, which were occasionally disputed by base commanders. A decision was made to integrate a video crew with low-light equipment into the planning and execution of each mission. This posed a bit of a challenge, as the video crew itself needed to infiltrate the base to stay in close proximity to Red Cell. To address this issue, 3 former SEAL Team 6 operators were enlisted to record every operation.
Wow.
This approach offered a dual advantage. Not only...
Think about that. That's like when people watch like Bear Grylls and stuff like that, and they're like, oh my God, some of the stuff he does is incredible. Think about the cameraman, who I'm pretty sure is a former Royal Marine, or was at one point. He's going to do all the stuff Bear Grylls doing, but with a camera, which is almost harder. And so, like, these lads are going in, and they've got to carry a camera and film everything.
Only could these individuals covertly enter military installations without compromising Red Cell's cover. But having undergone identical training as Red Cell members, they could anticipate the team's actions, ensuring better video of everything going down.
Right.
In 1985,
Interesting.
the team snuck into a base and put fake explosives on the roof of a command center
Wow.
where more than a dozen admirals work. A few
Wow.
weeks later, they came back, took over the home of the base commanding officer, took hostages, and did pretend attacks on planes and docked ships.
Oh
Not
my
long after,
God.
the team
So they're obviously very, very good, aren't they? Holy crap. That's so cool that they did that. It's almost like when I was doing computer science in Maine, actually. When I was in the US, I went to USM and did computer science for a little bit. And we learn about how hacking is incredibly important, and you will have teams try to hack you so you can look for vulnerabilities. And so this is the same thing. You're having basically a military operation team come in and look for all the vulnerabilities by doing it themselves. Really cool.
discovered that security hadn't gotten any better at the Navy's nuclear submarine base. So they decided to do something about it.
So
Red
cool.
Cell members easily got into the base and casually walked onto a nuclear missile submarine during the day without any trouble. The entire operations were recorded and later presented to base personnel for examination and analysis.
Oh my
This
God.
approach aimed to not just embarrass the commanders, but also shed light on vulnerabilities that needed fixing. The top-ranking Navy officials insisted there's no personal grudge with the unit,
Yeah.
highlighting that the general take was in favor of Red Cell, while also acknowledging
It's just a great way of boosting your own security. It's like playing football and playing against your own players every now and again. Like, it's a good way of all improving together. It really is.
that Marsenko has a tendency to go overboard. Red Cell team members had to keep up their SEAL qualifications in diving, parachuting, and demolition. But apart from that, they pretty much had the freedom to do their own thing.
That's so cool.
Marsenko's leadership style for physical training was like that of other elite special ops units worldwide, like the British SAS. There weren't any set workout programs forced on them. Instead, members were just expected to train on their own and stay in good shape.
I mean, if you're at that level, then yeah, you've got to have some sort of self-discipline to keep the fitness to a certain degree. Otherwise, you're just going to be falling at the wayside, aren't you?
According to Marsenko himself, he and his unit spent a significant portion of their off-duty hours drinking and getting into fights.
Yeah.
A tradition carried over from his time as the commander of SEAL Team 6.
That makes sense.
While this kind of behavior wasn't exclusive to Red Cell, the frequency and the various problems directly linked to drinking have often been criticized as a breakdown in discipline and leadership by officers.
I don't agree with that in any way. When a group of lads go out and drink together, the bonding together, right? This is a very, very important part of a troop, of a section, or even a unit, or whatever. It's incredibly important for them individuals to get to know each other down to everything. They need to understand every single aspect of the person that they're next to them, that's next to them. And a good way of doing that is going out for a drink with them. So I think it's very important that lads in the same troop, in the same section, or even the same unit go out drinking together. I think it's really important. And, you know, people can say, oh, well, you shouldn't be going out drinking. You shouldn't do that. And fair enough if you don't agree with drinking itself. But the act of going out and doing something together, especially if you add alcohol, which automatically opens people up, it's a way for people to understand each other better. It really is. And I don't condone drinking. I don't. But at the same time, it's a very, very good way of bonding and morale.
In naval special warfare and other branches of the military, it would eventually catch up with Red Cell a few months later, worsening the unit's already tarnished disciplinary reputation in the Navy. It might be said that this kind of behavior was possible because Red Cell wasn't closely watched during its brief time in operation. However, this is only partly true. While the unit's actions were closely monitored during training, there was essentially no overseeing authority for the team to report to during its off-duty hours.
Well, sometimes you need that, though. Like, these are special forces, lads. Like, they need to be able to come up with their own ideas and be flexible and figure things out themselves.
Red Cell basically did its own thing without any rules. Admiral Lyons even came up with a thick set of guidelines to keep them in check. They also had a Navy lawyer on board to make sure everything stayed legal. Plus, Red Cell couldn't just choose any scenario and go for it. There were some limits. Admiral Lyons threw in his own cautionary note. Stray too far from the agreed path, and it's game over for them.
Yeah.
Both the person in charge and the entire unit.
Yeah, there's obviously got to be boundaries, obviously. But they need to have their own flexibility to decide what they've got to do. The special forces, like, they're not just Marines. They're not just army lads. The special forces.
These words would later turn out to be prophetic, but not before Red Cell had its time in the spotlight. On March 20th, 1986, as part of an exercise to address a base's defenses, Red Cell team members abducted Ronald D. Sheridan, a civilian security guard employed at Naval Weapons Station Seal Beach in Southern California.
Okay.
What happened to him was anything but typical, even for Red Cell. They brought him to a nearby hotel, where he endured 30 hours of brutal interrogation.
Holy.
He was pushed around, roughed up, and repeatedly submerged into a bathtub filled with water
Holy.
and a flushing toilet. On the surface, capturing him might look like a vulnerability, but in reality, putting this guy through pain didn't have any meaningful purpose. He started shouting, concerned about a possible broken rib. Then they asked him to confirm his identity. Afterward, he was left on the bedroom floor as most of the Red Cell members left. The remaining...
That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. Like, you got to remember, these are not other SEAL team members that they're doing it to. This was a civilian they were doing it to. That's pretty rough.
Men apologized to Sheridan, saying that it wasn't meant to go this far. Sheridan underwent a year of physical therapy. As he wasn't part of the naval personnel, he took legal action against the government by filing a $6 million lawsuit. The procedures for conducting the team's exercises were made stricter after the incident.
Yeah, they fucked up. They fucked up there, big time.
And the team's actions were investigated. On January 24th, 1990, Marsenko was found guilty of conspiring to defraud the government, leading to a 21-month imprisonment.
Wait, what? What? Defraud the government?
In federal prison, and a fine of $10,000.
I need to look into him more.
Marsenko claims, however, that this was just a trick, and that the government felt embarrassed about the problems Red Cell exposed in the U.S. military.
Whoa.
Still, he served his prison time and paid the fine.
I need to know more about him. There's more to him getting arrested there.
Red Cell was disbanded in 1992. But let us know what you think in the comment section below. If you found this content entertaining or helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this one. And
fantastic video. I do feel like I have a lot more questions now, though, especially about that Richard Marcinko. Is that how you say it? Marcinko? Is that how you say his name? I want to know more about him. What a crazy story that ended up at the end part there. That's mental. I definitely want to know more about that and learn more about that. I wonder if there's any books or anything about him. Let me have a quick look. Surely there's a book. Let's have a look. You know me. I love a good book. Yes, there is. Rogue Warrior. Oh, he's got a lot of books. Are these like fiction? I think some of them might be fiction because he's got quite a few of them. He seems like quite the character, doesn't he? Here we go. Barnes and Noble. Oh, he's got loads of books. He's got loads. But some of these look like fiction. This is his #1 seller. Can we get a closer look at that? I guess not. God, you can barely see it. It's such a blurry picture. The explosive autobiography of the controversial, death-defying founder of U.S. Navy's top secret counter-terrorist. Is that what it says? Counter-terrorist unit, SEAL Team 6. Yeah, it must do. It's very blurry, that. Interesting. Very interesting. What a great video. Well done, Tactical. I'll leave a link down to the original video. Go down there. Let me know what you think. Do you want me to look into this more? I actually feel like I want to learn a lot more about what's going on here, because I feel like this scratched the surface and brushed over a lot of stuff that needed more explaining. But it was a very good video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget, check out the links down in the description, my socials and all that good stuff, my Instagram, all that lot. Check it all out. Other than that, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.